We are back adrift the Rift with some brand new Riftbound previews as of Wednesday, the 11th of June. The content creator and media reveals have started. We haven't got 139 this time, which is absolutely amazing because people are still going through those cards, looking for combination plays and having a lot of fun with them. But the fun doesn't end there. We got a bunch of new cards dropped to us from various sources, and these cards look absolutely insane. Let's start off with the Herald of Scales, a 4-cost 3 might physical unit that has your dragon's energy costs are reduced by 2 for a minimum of 1. This means that all your cards with a dragon trait or tribe that will be on the top along with the sign where you can see units. So the Herald of Scales has a Mount Targon, dragon will be up there, and anything that says dragon there will have -2 to its difficulty. You might even see some cards in the future that can turn units in your hand into dragons, making them cheaper to play. This is an absolutely solid card. Anything that can reduce the cost of a unit, making them easier and quicker to play, is going to be solid and very strong. And the physical rune is going to be a great one for keeping this alive, keeping it safe and getting you able to spam more high cost units for a lower cost. Going from there, we have some more gear. The Arena Bar, 3-cost physical gear with exhaust, buff and exhausted friendly units. If it doesn't already have a buff, it gets +1 to its might. Being able to utilize this in things like Set and Lee Sin is going to be very cool. It is a base speed, so it cannot be done during showdowns or as a reaction. So it's a very honest card, but it is not a unique card. It is not a card that you can only have one of in your base. So being able to buff repeated units is very strong, and I think this could be an absolute beast if worked into the right deck. Moving on from here, we have our Fury spell Cleave, a 1-cost action, which means it can be played during your turn or during showdowns. Give a unit assault 3. This means while it's the aggressor, while it's the one trying to take a battlefield, it gets +3 might. Being able to play this during showdowns means that you can catch your opponent off guard when you can throw down a cleave and go, cool, now my unit has +3 to its might. You swinging the momentum of a showdown that wasn't going your way to one that is now going to be more on your side. This is a great Fury aggression cheap spell, and I'm very excited to see how this goes down. It's going to be very good at cinching battlefields, and it's the kind of spell I think Fury's been lacking for characters like Jinx, allowing them to be able to handle some of these bigger units in the mid to late game. Following on from that, we got the opposite to Cleave. We got Block, a 2-cost action that can be played during your turn or showdown, but also hidden. So you can pay a power, so recycle a rune, to put it face down in a battlefield. You can only have one card face down in a battlefield you control, and this just allows you to use it later for 0 mana, but it has its own risks with hidden. The spell gives a unit shield 3 and tank. So while it's the unit defending, which is great when using it as hidden, you can give a unit +3 might as it's defending, and then also give it tank, requiring it to be dealt damage first. If you can utilize that with some other units, there are units that don't take damage if they've moved already. There's some units that have got big beefy stats under the calm rune. Yeah, you just be able to go, you need to deal all your damage here first, and if you can tank it, especially with +3 on your might, this is going to be a very good card at defending our areas. Moving on from there, we got a glow up for the Caitlyn champion unit, a 3-cost 1 power 3 might unit that it has a sort of opposite of tank, kind of sniper as she is. I must be assigned combat damage last after a showdown and commit deal damage equal to my might to a unit on a battlefield. You can only use this ability while she's on a battlefield. So while she's on one battlefield, she can essentially snipe a unit on another battlefield. This is like ganking, but a lot stronger, because they're not dealing damage back. You just get to If you hold a unit or you can ready, if you hold a battlefield or you can ready Caitlyn up on a battlefield, you then get to exhaust her and deal 3 or more if you can get some buffs and some ways to get that might up 2 units on other battlefields, allowing you to then take the second battlefield, which can be very strong. After that, we got a very cool gear, a 2-cost mind gear of Mushroom Pouch. At the start of your beginning phase, if you control face down at a battlefield, draw a card. Again, this is not a unique gear. You can have multiple of them. You can draw multiple cards. Very strong, very cool. And again, it's very interesting to see that we're seeing that at the beginning phase. So before the initial draw, you get to draw one already. I'm quite interested to see how that's going to go down with judging and timing. If you miss, is it possible to miss this trigger? But that's something that we'll come across when we come across judging and timing, and how effects like this, which aren't a response, they're kind of like a static, will go down. Moving on to an order champion unit, Darius. We saw the Darius leader, and this is an absolutely beautiful unit. 6 cost, 1 order power, 6 might with Legion. When you play me, ready me. So if you've played any other non-hidden card this turn, Legion triggers, and you can play this ready, and all other units here have +1. And that doesn't say battlefield, so if even if it's in your base, all your units in the base get +1. But if you ideally want to play this on a battlefield, and you want all your units at that battlefield to get +1 to their power, +1 to their might, and that isn't a buff, that stacks with buffs, so you can get, and order seems to be the very good at buffing. This is a very decent unit at going. I may be 6 power, but I can get more. And seeing as we don't have any legendary rule or unique rule or champion rule, you can have multiple Dariuses down, which means, although it says other friendly units, so you can have 2 Dariuses which will each be buffing each other for 1 and everybody else for 2, which is very cool. We have our last 3 cards now. We're coming in with Heimendinger champion unit, 3 cost, 1 mind power with 3 might, breaking the frame with the hair in the ear. And this is a very powerful static ability. I gained all the exhaust abilities of friendly units, legends, and gear. So if you have a seal down, you can commit Heimendinger to pay a power cost. If you have Victor as your leader, you can commit Heimendinger and 1 rune to get a recruit. This is a very powerful ability. I am very excited to see this, because luckily he has no way of re-readying. It doesn't mean that you can't commit him to use all of those abilities. You have to pick and choose. But this is the kind of unit you can build around. You're going to have 3 in your deck for consistency. You can build around this ability. There's some reactionary abilities that are currently around. This Heimendinger could be an Heimendinger could be an absolute beast. Then we have Ekko. I sent this to my friend Tyler, who cosplays Ekko. He's done some work with Riot in the past. He's an absolutely phenomenal cosplayer. And he was just like, yeah, I need to get my pre-orders in now. And yeah, Ekko is an absolute beast. Ekko Recursion, perfectly named for what he does. 5 difficulty, 1 power for mind, and 5 might. Accelerate, so you may pay 1 and a mind as a power to have this unit entering ready. And Death Kneel, so when this unit dies, you may recycle Ekko back into your deck, allowing him to recur and ready all of your runes. So if you pay the accelerate cost in here and you say exhaust 6, you can then throw Ekko into a showdown and re-ready those 6. And because there's no turn order, how a turn goes down, you can then play more units after a showdown. Your turn doesn't end after a showdown. This is a very strong ability. Going to be very good at utilizing it. And because it's on the mind, which has a lot of spells, has a lot of utility in your opponent's turn, if Ekko dies, your opponent then has to consider the rest of their turn, because you have now got full resources ready to go. This is at least a 1-2 of in any mind deck, because of the pressure it puts on your opponents. The last card that was shown off yesterday is Dangerous Duo. It's a 3 cost, 3 might unit with Legion. When you play me, give a unit +2 might this turn. So if you've played a non-hidden unit, if you played a non-hidden card before this card, you can give a unit +2 might. A very solid ability that can allow you to get higher. Fury having this synergy of additional combat, of having the early aggression and making units big and beefy and trying to take things in your turn is a very good rune identity for it to have, and I'm very excited to see how Dangerous Duo is going to go down with this. But yes, that is all the cards that were previewed yesterday. Please go check out the original content creators Twitter tweets and articles for these reveals. They go in a bit more in depth as to the lore of these characters and the lore of these units. And let me know, what is your favorite reveal so far? Is there anything that you've been instantly intrigued on how to play? And let me know what your opinions on Teemu is. Teemu has been a hot topic on the Riftbound Discord at the minute. I found out yesterday that he is a gremlin unit that puts mushrooms down that poison people, and they last 10 minutes when your average game of League lasts about 12. So he is a toxic little gremlin, and I'm not a big fan of AoE effects that keep on poisoning you, especially if you can hide hidden mushrooms that last 10 minutes. So I've kind of joined the board of we hate Teemu. Let me know your opinions on Teemu below. Let me know your opinions on Riftbound, and let me know what your favorite card is. I will catch you all next time. Adrift the Rift. Bye.